I'm going to make this very quick video to explaining the use of temporary passport in the application of the diversity visa lottery, because there are so many questions. Someone asked, are we allowed to use temporary passport? And if yes, what happens if you win with a temporary passport? That's the bigger question. But before we go to the bigger question, let's go back to the requirement for the passport. And I will explain the difference between temporary passport and the passport book, which has longer time and other factors. Because so many people are getting confused and they ending up applying without having a passport. So, welcome everyone. This is Ernest Boniface Makulilo, EBM, and I welcome you to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/EBMSCHOLARS. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. So, let's go. There is introduction of the passport requirement, like the past 2-3 DVLOTTERY applications. We are required to use passport. You must have a passport in order to apply for the diversity visa lottery. If you don't have passport, don't apply. There are 3 waiver. The only 3 reasons where you can apply without a passport. Only 3 scenarios. And I believe 100% you don't meet those scenarios. Scenario number 1, or waiver number 1, you must be a stateless person, which you are not. Very few people on this planet Earth are stateless. Remember, the eligibility for the diversity visa lottery is based on the country of birth. So, you can be born, let's say, in Kenya, but now you are a citizen of Tanzania. Your eligibility, the country of eligibility will put Kenya. No matter the passport you are using now, the passport which will put Tanzanian passport, but eligibility is from the country of birth. So you must be stateless, which very few people are stateless on this planet Earth. Number 2, either you must be coming from a communist country and you are unable to get the passport from a communist country. Not because of the pandemic, not because of the coronavirus, not because you don't have money. They don't care. Not because your country has war. There is no that reason. The only reason is you are coming from a communist country and that government doesn't give you passport. But if you are from Somalia, say, oh, where I work, where I live, there is some uncertain situation, they don't care. If your country, they have so many restrictions, movement, or the government doesn't, is processing slower because of the pandemic, they don't care about that. First reason, stateless. Second reason, being from the communist country. If you're from Africa, you are listening to me or watching me now, there is no a country in Africa which is a communist country. So don't come with that craziness reason. Reason number 3, and the final reason, is you must have a waiver from the Secretary of Homeland Security and the Secretary of State of the United States of America. And remember, in order to get that waiver, you have to be in America first. Obviously, you came with a passport, because there is a form to get that waiver. And you have to be in the United States, obviously. You cannot get the waiver while you are in Uganda, there in Mbarale. You are just chilling, and then you are writing to the Secretary of State that, can you give me the waiver? I don't have the passport. Why? They are not going to give you the waiver in that way. So, if you are going to apply, and if you put any of those 3 reasons, when you win, you have to prove, you have to come with the evidence to prove that you don't have the passport because of those reasons. If you go and apply, you don't have a passport, and we say you are qualifying through the waiver, you must prove. Otherwise, you win the DV lottery. You appear on the, you are going to appear over there, and you will be denied the visa. So you must have a passport. So majority of people to apply, even for instance in Kenya, the longer time for the pandemic, I'm giving an example, even in Tanzania, because of the pandemic, it might take longer maybe to get the passport. So that's why you can apply for temporary passport. Temporary passport is a piece of paper like this one. Usually, you are given that passport to travel in a neighboring country. For instance, in East Africa, in Kenya, when they give this one, they give it for 1 year. In Tanzania, I think it's 6 months. I don't know about Uganda, but that passport is a temporary passport. You are going to travel within East Africa, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, even Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, South Sudan. 5 countries. I think in DRC you can use that one too. I'm not so sure. West Africa, they have version of the temporary passport. So you need to have a temporary passport to apply. The difference, because people are asking, so is it allowed to use temporary passport? When you are going to apply, they don't care whether it's temporary passport or is this type of passport, which is a passport book. They don't care which one, because what they care, it is a passport given to you by the government of your country. That's what they care. What are the difference between these two passports, temporary passport and this one? This one is 10 years. This one can be 1 year or 6 months or 3 months. I don't know, whatever they give you depending on the country. That is the difference, number one. Difference number two is you cannot use this one to travel from Uganda to US or from Kenya to go get a Schengen visa to go to Europe. This you are traveling within East Africa. Or if you're in West Africa, within West Africa. If you want to travel in far countries, you have to use the passport book. That is the difference. But both their passport numbers, both have this expiration date. The difference, this one may be shorter time, this one longer time. Even this one is temporary, because you can be given for 5 years depending on the country, or 10 years. So after 10 years, it's going to expire. It's not permanent that it's going to be used for the rest of your life. No, it's a temporary tool in the sense that it has expiration date. But this is, they call it temporary because the requirements of getting this one is quicker. For instance, if you apply in Tanzania, you get this one within 2 days. If you apply in Kenya, you get within 2 days too. 2 to 3 days, you get this one. Some countries, you get within a day. And you don't need to have all the documentation, like unnecessary. I mean, like you have to get all this one, and it is cheaper. It is $5 to $10 depending on the country. So make sure you get the temporary passport. But one trick is this one. For the people in East Africa, the temporary passport, when they say write your passport number, the passport number on the temporary passport is starting with TP, then there is a number. So don't write those the word TP. TP is just a temporary passport. So write the number after the word TP. The rest of the numbers, that's what you put as a passport number. Don't put the abbreviation TP. If you put that one and you put the passport number, it cannot go sometimes. We tried that one last year and you cannot go. So put that way and you can be able to do. So what if you win with this temporary passport? What are you going to do? Very simple. Once you apply for using this one, you win. It's just like using the same big passport and this passport is going to expire. What are you going to do if you have this passport is going to expire? Meaning you need to have a new passport. When you are going to fill the DS-260, you'll use the new passport. So the same as temporary passport like this one, when you win, you need to have a new passport book, which you will put the passport number over there. But when KCC, Kentucky Consular Center, requests for the document, you are going to send the temporary passport you used and the actual current passport, which they are going to put the passport, they are going to put the visa stamp. The same way, like if you apply using the same passport and this passport has expired, you'll use the new passport, and then when they ask for the document, you send the copy of the new passport and the old passport. The same way when you go to the visa interview, you have to use the passport which you use to apply, and then the passport they are going to put the visa, because they have to prove it is you who applied by using the passport you used to apply for the diversity visa lottery. Another question related to that. Have you seen people or any person who has won using the temporary passport and given the visa? Yes. I know 3 people who won the DV lottery with a temporary passport and were given the visa without any problem. And I know 2 people who applied without a passport and won the DV lottery and they were denied the visa. Because you lied. You said you were stateless, or you said you were from communist country, which is not true. So make sure that you are going to put the correct passport number. Failure to put a correct passport number is automatic disqualification during the visa interview. So if your passport number is, for instance, ED1, 2, 3, 4, 10, whatever number, and you are going to put a wrong number, or you are going to put the wrong expiration date, you are going to be disqualified at the US Embassy because they know for sure you lied and put a wrong information for deceiving the system. So make sure that you put the correct passport number. It is better to have a mistake of your name, but not a mistake of passport number. Among the reasons why people are denied the visa, even if after winning, one is putting the wrong passport number or not putting the passport at all during the application. So go and apply the temporary passport right away. Make sure that if you are married, you have the passport like this one. If you are married, make sure your spouse has this one. Meaning you apply as a main applicant, and then you ask your spouse to apply with the temporary passport. That means if you win, you come with your wife. If your wife wins, you come. It's coming with you. But because your husband, you have the passport, you think that you are so much lucky. No, use both of you, husband and wife, apply. That will be able to help you. So make sure that your spouse, if doesn't have the passport, get the temporary passport. That's how it do. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you share this video to others.